Everybody have balls in a block? Okay. So what we're going to start off with is rolling our calf muscles and then also the hamstrings a little bit. So for this, I like to place, there's two ways to do it. So one is you can place the ball on top of a block and then you place calf muscle on top of that. Okay. And then you can practice rolling down the length of your block like that. Or once you find a spot that feels yummy, like juicy or painful, you can also cross one leg on top. So whether you're crossing like at the thigh, whether you're crossing the calf muscle over a calf muscle, and you get to actually play with how much weight you put down. So like it actually takes some abdominal muscles depending on how you situate yourself to kind of keep yourself there and not just collapse all your weight into the block. So that's one way. The other way, if you don't have a ball right now, you can use a block and you can kind of situate the block to figure out how you can get one of its angles into the tendon spots. Okay, so we'll spend like our first 2 minutes just rolling out one of your calf muscles. Choose whichever one you want. So either rolling or relaxing down into it. So I think calf muscles are super interesting because they also connect to the knee. And so like sometimes when people are having knee issues, it's actually because of tight calves, I find, which is really interesting. And then also it connects down to ankles. So it has a lot to do as well with like our whole foot's mobility if the calves are tight. Plus, they're also known as like the second heart. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, but the body is constructed such that like our heart is pretty good at pumping stuff like from here up, but having to pump all of this like against gravity back up is kind of challenging for the heart. So that's why the calf muscles come in and they actually kind of look like hearts, like the different muscles there. And so as we walk and they contract, it actually helps pump blood flow back up the leg. Oh. So when they're very tight, we're not getting that full circulatory boost. One thing you can do once you have the ball underneath the calf muscle, underneath the spot too, is also practice pointing and flexing the toes. Or like active feet, basically. Somehow creating some motion in the foot so that travels up into the calf. Okay, and let's do the other side. So first start with the knee rolling, and then we find a spot, especially in the meat of it, in the center of your calf muscle. There's generally some areas that could use some longer time release. We'll do 2 minutes here too. Ooh. Uh, I don't know about y'all, but I love me some myofascial release. It's like, how do I live this way? How do I have all this tension just stored in my body? Uh, okay, finish on up. So now we move up to the hamstring. So for the hamstring, you'll take your ball and you'll place it here underneath your hammies, and then you can practice rolling it first. The thing with the hamstrings, because your ass is kind of in the way, you're not going to be able to get the full force of the full picture. So you can practice rolling like forward and back, keeping in mind it's going to be a little difficult to really get into it. And you can also practice rolling your hips back and forth. So like crossing the fibers, cross fibering. And if you find an area where you feel like, once again, you want to focus your pressure, you can cross the other leg on top. And something I found for a lot of people, and myself included, like if you can unlock your hamstrings, and particularly whichever part of your hamstrings are really tight, like, ugh, like something changes in your back for good, something changes in your knees. It's just so good. So hamstrings also connect behind the knees, and then they connect to the sit bone territory. So like all of this, and yeah, they're funky, and they're all kind of like, there's three of them kind of all wrapped in, because one crosses over, and then one like goes the other way, and then one goes straight down. And then so it's really easy for the fascia and the connective tissue to get really funky in there. And also to get very tendon-like. So like it's easy for the hamstrings to not actually be strong, but for our fascial connections there to be really strong. And actually to help the hamstrings get stronger and more stable, we kind of need to move some of that fascial blockage out. Both. Okay, switch to the other leg. So remember, you can practice rolling down the length of the hamstrings, or you can practice going back and forth by moving the hips and slowly kind of working your way either up or down as you do that. And then always you can rest with gravity, crossing one leg over the other. Oof. And something I always like to think of too when doing myofascial release is like, we're searching for the gold. Right? You don't go like gold mining searching for like tin. You know, you want like you want the gold. So you want to go where you feel it, where it feels the most funky. You can always play around too with using the block, because that can help you get into certain areas a little more. And also practicing moving the foot, moving the ankle. So Oh. Who made hamstrings feel like this? Is anybody else's hamstrings like totally wacky? Yeah, okay. It's not just me. Good. Also, you're not alone. Um, okay, finish up and then come up to standing and we'll roll our feet a little bit and then we'll integrate with a few poses. Okay. Once you're up to standing, we'll dedicate about 2 minutes to each foot. So feel for rolling out through the foot. And in one of our previous classes, but I think some of you weren't there, the recording's there, but I know the three arches of the foot. So between the heel and between the little toe side of the foot and big toe side of the foot. So basically those 3 points, big toe ball of the foot, little toe ball of the foot, and heel, you kind of want to explore in those, the lines that connect these areas. Practice spreading your toes out while you do this. And also maybe even scrunching your toes up in like a fist. All right. And even with the feet, you can also come to a static place. There's one spot you really want to focus on. Okay, other foot. It's 2 minutes of love and attention. Maybe it feels like a pounding, but whatever. Try and make it feel like love and attention. Liberation. So, Gabe, we switch to the other foot.
Deal.
Oh. Oh my. Does anybody remember George Takei? The oh my guy?
From Star Trek.
Was he on Star Trek?
He's an old man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on Star Trek. So yeah, he had but like outside of Star Trek and this comedy stuff,
Uh-huh.
he has this quote that's oh my, but it's always like oh my. And like, anyway, that's how I feel when I roll my feet.
Oh,
Like, oh, I just saw a whale. Oh, that's cool.
oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Oh, yesterday I was on a boat. Uh, yeah, for a party. And like, holy crap, we saw like several pods of whales. And then
That's cool.
we also saw like hundreds of dolphins, like hundreds. And then they
Cool.
followed our boat. So they could come play in the wake, like the waves. Like they were literally like riding, like jumping through the waves that the boat was making, like following us. It was so crazy. Like I had never seen anything like that.
It never loses its luster. It's always cool.
No, it's always amazing. Oh, Shan, good Lord. Yeah, it was so cool. Okay, finish up with this foot. And place your balls off to the side. Have your block nearby. Okay, let's integrate with some moves. You can also notice how your legs feel. Like, obviously, I still have like I personally feel like it's like the memory of what just happened, but also my legs feel like more awake, more alive. So just notice how your legs feel right now. And then we'll notice how they feel as we get to movement. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Lunge, inhale, step left foot back. Exhale, lower the left knee down. Inhale, arms and torso up. Exhale, feel for pressing both feet downwards. Keep your legs in that solid position. Inhale, reach your rib cage up. Half splits, hands down to the floor. Shift your hips back and straighten the front leg. Here you can either point the toes towards the floor or flex toes up. And you can also stay up on the block if you'd like. Or with your foot, you can go back and forth. Up to you. Lounge lunge. From here, bend the front knee again. Sink the hips forward. Wrap your right hand underneath the right knee. Left hand forwards, so like from underneath the shoulder, forwards about 1.5 feet. And then to the left, about 6 inches. From there, start to reach the left hip towards the floor. Like you're twisting the left side of the chest down. And the center of the chest twists towards the right knee or right shin. Inhale towards your low back. Exhale, relax the front of the left hip downwards. Bring your hips back to center. Hands on the floor. Step into downward facing dog. Pyramid. Inhale, step the left foot forwards. Here, come onto a block. And for the first few breaths, just feel for flattening your back. So like lifting your sit bones up. Then to stretch the inner hamstrings, pick up the ball of the foot and then rotate the toes outwards. So with external rotation of the leg, you can access the internal hamstrings more. And pick up the ball of the foot again. Inwardly rotate the toes. Now you can access the outer fibers of the hamstring. Bring the foot back to center for twisting triangle. So hand can stay on the block, the right hand stays on the block. Left hand reaches up or comes to low back. Inhale and send a deep breath towards your hips. Exhale, press down through both feet. Inhale, twist your ribs away from the left thigh. Exhale, relax a little more in your neck. Bring your torso back to center. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot forwards. Forward bend. Inhale, reach your arms up. So hands to center of chest. Oh, this feels so good right now. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lunge. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, lower right knee down. Inhale, arms and torso up. Exhale, lengthen your tailbone downwards. Press both feet down and then inhale, reach up through fingers. Half splits. Hands come down to the block or to the floor. Shift your hips backwards, straighten the left leg. Either point toes towards the floor or flex toes towards shin or do something else. You can make circles with your ankle. You can go back and forth. Once again, now that you know you can access the inner fibers of the hamstring with external rotation, you could externally rotate. If your inner hamstrings were more funky, you could internally rotate if your outer hamstrings were more funky. Tailor this pose to what you want to feel. Lounge lunge. Lower the left knee, left foot back to the floor. Wrap the fingers underneath the left knee. Top of the right foot is on the ground. Right hand starts underneath the right shoulder. And from there, it goes forward about a foot and a half. And then off to the right about 6 inches. From there, keep your right arm straight. Allow your right shoulder to hike up towards your ear and start to roll the right side of chest down. And instead of the left foot opening up and the knee opening out, feel for hugging the knee towards the armpit and towards the chest. And from there, inhale, bend the left knee and glide your chest forwards. Exhale, press the left heel towards the floor and almost like you're pressing the left heel towards the right knee. Hands down to the floor. Downward facing dog. Pyramid. Inhale, right foot forwards. Come up onto a block. Hips are facing forwards. Right leg is straight. Inhale and feel for reaching your sit bones back and up. Exhale, press into the floor with both feet. Inhale towards the low back. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot, externally rotate the thigh. Toes point outwards. Feel for how you can press through your feet and how you can position your hips so that you can access more feeling through the right hamstrings. Internally rotate the foot. Feel for spreading your toes out, pressing through different areas of the ball of the foot. Bring the foot back to center for twisting triangle. Left hand stays on the block. Right hand either reaches up or comes to low back, or to sacrum. Press down a little more through the little toe side. Using that press, inhale, roll your chest a little more towards the right to face the right. Exhale and lean your upper back upwards. Come out of the pose, bring your chest back to center. Hands to the floor. Step the left foot forward, bending right knee slightly, and then relax your chest down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to the center of the chest. Okay. Would anybody be into an inversion on the wall? No. If you are into an inversion on the wall, I would recommend like a dolphin on the wall if you're feeling that. And if not, Shavasana.
I gotta run.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye, Julie.
Bye,
Good to see you,
Julie.
Julie.
Bye.
Adios.
Okay, yep. Lay on your backs. Feel for soaking up all of this energy moving through your legs, all of this spaciousness and freedom. When we start to address what's blocked in our myofascia and our tissues, something in us changes. It's like it becomes even 5% easier to stay in our bodies. To stay with what we're feeling. To relax. So right now, before the rest of the day zooms on, allow your legs to be doorways into feeling your own presence. When you loosen up in your legs, it takes some of the pressure off your heart. Allow yourself right now to feel the connection between the pulsing in your legs and in your heart. Slowly start to deepen your breath and move your fingers about. Move your toes. Start to take bigger movements. Bend your knees, feet onto the floor. Roll to one side. Slowly sit up. A relaxed neck. Okay, yummy, yummy. Hopefully everybody's legs are feeling alive.